Well, we're back already. That's right. After Hawkeye disappointed me, week off. Not even, right? It hasn't even been a week since Hawkeye ended. We're back talking another show from Disney Plus this time around. It is the latest from the entry of Star Wars, and that is Jon Favreau and Robert Rodriguez just being like, hey, we did something cool in season 2 of The Mandalorian. What if that became its own television show? And thus, the Book of Boba Fett is born. Full disclosure, and I think I might have said this on an earlier episode or something or whatever, I don't like Boba Fett. Even when I was younger, I was like, who cares? He literally just dies the first time we see him. He's really nothing. He hasn't done anything special or interesting. So I don't care for Boba Fett. I never have. That's why I think The Mandalorian was cool. It's like, yeah, do something with this concept that no one's done before. Saying all that, and being somebody who, again, doesn't really care about this character, this first episode of the Book of Boba Fett was really well made. And I think it does something that is so important for art, and that is take yourself seriously even if you're not. There is a lot of camp in here, a lot of silly stuff that I think, again, it goes to a lot of stuff with art. Under worse hands, this falls apart quickly, terribly, easily. But with a team like Jon Favreau doing an amazing script, Robert Rodriguez doing some brilliant work behind the camera, you get something beautiful and spectacular. And I genuinely, wholeheartedly liked what we got from this Boba Fett show, which I never thought I would say. Now, I don't think it reinvents the wheel here, but it also doesn't need to. It's Boba Fett. There are the beats that we need it to do that this does. It opens up and we see him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit. We see him inside the gooey mouth. He crawls through the sands. Very much exactly what people wanted to see. He gets beaten up by that. He gets taken by some Jawas. They take his parts. That's how he loses the armor. He gets captured by some Tusken Raiders. And it's a really cool scene. And that's about like the side plot of this. It's like the B story, seeing how Boba Fett gets to where he is in the present day. We also see that he is being healed up in the Bacta tank, which you have to, because I don't imagine Tamura Morrison wants to be put in that broken up Dune-looking makeup all day. And I get it. I'm fine with it. But holy shit, does that man look so good. What a sexy looking human. Just walking on screen, big, bulky, giving broader guys like me a shot to see like, yeah, we can lead shit like this and look sexy doing it. He's shirtless for some of it, and I'm there for it. Keep that man out of the Boba Fett armor. Just have a shirtless Tamura Morrison running around. I would watch the hell out of that. I think it'd be sick. So, the basic plot of this episode is he's taken over. You know, Bib Fortuna took over when Jabba was killed. Boba Fett kills Bib Fortuna. Now he's going to be a crime lord in the this is whatever in Tatooine. It's awesome. And it does something that I really much like for this kind of story. It doesn't, like, overstay its welcome. It's 39 minutes. It also is just, we're setting it up. Here are the places you're going to know. We got a corrupt mayor and his, like, weird Twi'lek Legion boys coming over to talk like a weird, suspicious little freak. That's cool. We're going to a really cool bar. Is this the same as the one from A New Hope? I can't remember the name of the bar. O'Hare's Bar. Is this O'Hare's Bar that's been like revigorated with a new leader by Gaspa Fwip? By the way, I need to say this now because it's important that I say it. I think I found my favorite character of the show in Gaspa Lip. Like, she is so just awesome. Jennifer Beals just showing up, playing a sexy Twi'lek, offering like, here's some again, a lot of shirtless people this episode. Here's a shirtless Twi'lek and a sexy girl Twi'lek offering drinks and taking helmets from people to shine them up. It's cool. And she's like, you know, like the femme fatale character who runs her own bar. And, you know, she's like kind of corrupt. She like pays off for protection with Boba and his people. I think that is so cool. And damn, was it's... I don't know why, but Twi'leks are just so sexy. It's weird to say. I know it's weird to say, but tell me honestly. The sexiest species next to the Rodian is a Twi'lek. And you know why Rodian's number one. I know you do. I don't have to say anything more about the Rodian being the sexiest species in Star Wars. You know why. It's awesome. So, we got a corrupt mayor. This town's got a bunch of crime lords vying for power here. We got our bar of our patrons who are probably going to play a bigger role going forward because Jennifer Beals does get a credit at the end, which makes me think she's going to be in more than one episode, which I love to see. Because I think she's a cool actor who doesn't do much, and I think do this, man. Just be a cool Twi'lek lady, just empowering and sexy. I'm here for it. I didn't think I was going to get that in a Boba Fett show, but I'm here for it. Give me that shit. It's awesome. It's cool. I adore it. I need it. It's great. And that's pretty cool. It's weird. It's just great. I just cannot believe this worked. There's just kind of like a sub story where like we see some of these like Gamorrean guards that worked for Bib and Jabba who are loyal to the person in charge. They're like Boba Fett and Fennec's muscle when they walk around places, and that leads them into like the big action sequence when the kind of like the big idea is here that Boba Fett's going to rule with respect, so he's not going to be like hoisted up on a litter and like walked around like he's royalty. He's going to have boots on the ground and be the man of the people. That leads to some rivalry, and we see some like ninjas. They look like foot soldiers. These guys just show up. They got their laser shields. They just start beating the crap out of the team. And in come the Gamorrean guards to take some shit down. It's awesome. And this is why I'm like, this is why Robert Rodriguez is here. Because who else would just think of taking Boba Fett, shoving him into Tatooine years after Return of the Jedi, get some Gamorrean guards in here, and he's just beating up ninjas. It's awesome. And it looks so incredibly cool. I just adore that so much. It is so funny and creative. Fennec gets some good shots, and then she gets a nice action sequence where she's chasing a couple of them away. She gets the best of them and slips up, and it's great. It's so great to see that. Ming-Na Wen, again, another woman, so good. She is just so vibrant, and she has so much personality, and her chemistry with Tamura is so great that you just buy their relationship. Oh, it's just impressive. And I think coming off of something like Hawkeye, which you guys know really drained me because it was so much, I just really needed a nice palate cleanser. And yes, show me some random stuff where like the Tusken Raiders are just beating up Boba Fett. This should be called Everybody Gets a Swing at Boba Fett and Breaks Him Down emotionally and physically. Because does he get beaten up and punched a lot? He's shoved into the back of the tank towards the end of the episode again because, yeah, he's getting beat up by some ninjas. He's getting beat up by Jawas, a Sarlacc pit. He's getting beat up by everyone. It's awesome. So we don't even know who those ninja guys are connected to because that's all we get for that scene, really. Like, Boba gets hurt, gets dragged back to the Bacta tank. The Gamorrean guards are like, do we sit here and watch him? What do we do with that? Weird. Fennec's probably going to get some answers towards that. She kind of just went off on her own to figure all that stuff out, which I thought was kind of cool. Another thing here, Matt Berry's the droid. That's an interesting choice. We had Richard Ottawade in the first and second season of The Mandalorian. Interesting that now Matt Berry's coming over. A couple of the IT crowd people shown up. I wonder if that means anything. I doubt it. I just think you picked the right talent for this, and droids are supposed to be kind of pompous, so yeah, get some British people over here, I guess. Makes sense to me. I don't know. It's great. It's great. It's such a good palate cleanser. You know, The Mandalorian, the second season was good. But there's just a lot of like filling in the gaps and all these storylines we had to get to and all this stuff we had to try to accomplish. This was just like, what if we do a gangster thing? You know, like the ninja clan's beating us up. We're got a corrupt mayor. We got our bar. Everything's coming together great. But if that wasn't enough to just make this a special episode, there's something towards the end of it that literally had me screaming with joy. It's in like the flashback sequence where we see that Boba is working with a Rodian because they're both captured by these Tusken Raiders. They're digging for these water vials and it's just giving them substance. As they're digging, the Rodian comes across this weird tail and it's like, well, what is this? Starts digging more in the sand, and all of a sudden out from the sand pops this, I can't even describe what this monster is. Kind of centipede-ish, kind of wormish, 6 arms. Well, it's more like 6 legs and 2 arms. They can just like alternate between them. But holy shit, it just did something I needed it to, and that was like the Harryhausen vibes that I really needed Star Wars to go back to, because Star Wars always just teased that idea of like the puppetry and like the stop motion being the focus there, but the way this creature moved, the way it looked, like the I don't know what kind of like felt or whatever they used to make it like look like that. But it just moved and acted so Ray Harryhausen that I just adored every second of that. Because as somebody who loves that style of animation and the way those things come together, it just invoked the classic feel that I needed it to. And it had me giddy from every second. I loved the way it just switched from running on 2 legs to running on 4 legs. That was awesome. I love the way Boba Fett was just jumping off of it and running all around it. Oh, it was so cool. Rips its head off, and like the young Tusken Raider takes credit for the kill. I really like that. It's kind of showing up like before he went to be on the Mandalorian. Boba Fett kind of was one of the Tusken Raiders for a bit, because the staff that he uses in the Mandalorian, we see one of the other Tusken Raiders using here, which is really interesting. It's kind of like setting up this larger idea of something in play. I think that's really cool. I will say it's impressive that a Boba Fett show actually surprised me and did something cool. Great homages to Harryhausen, some really cool, like, you know, just like desert films, very Raiders at times, very Lawrence of Arabia at times. It did a lot of cool stuff like that, and I was very impressed with it. It didn't strike the Goodfellas chord as much as I thought it would. It felt a little bit more casino-y at times, and I just think it's kind of building up maybe a detective story, where maybe Fennec and Boba Fett are going to be kind of like the underground crime lords, taking things up in this new way. That's very cool. Jennifer Beals, I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with that character, because it's my new favorite. I love her, and a lot of shirtless people in here. Keep it up. More Tamara Morrison just shirtless or running around in nothing. I want that. If we're doing that, do it fully. Give me a butt-ass naked man beating up some Trandoshans, because we do kind of tease the Trandoshans in here too. I have to imagine if Bosk or Dengar or IG-88 are still alive, they're gonna show up. Because what else would you do? I don't need to see Han Solo or Lando, but I would like to see Zuckuss and Forlom. I think that'd be cool. Those are the ones you should bring into here. So overall, this episode was strong, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people in a way they maybe weren't expecting, and it's going to be a nice, just easy breezy, beautiful finale to this year. A great episode to end things on, and I cannot wait to come back next week and talk more Book of Boba Fett. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.